Mad Alliance with Howling is Joe, aka Mad Joe C. So I know I've already done a non-spoiler and a spoiler review for Avengers Infinity War, but this movie, man, this movie left me with so many questions, so many thoughts, and with so many different scenes that I wanted to talk about and discuss. Like I said, I've already done reviews, but there's still just so much more to talk about, and some of it I don't think I covered in my review just because that's just how much stuff there was in the movie. So this is just going to be kind of like a commentary video, no reaction or anything, just Mad Talk, which those of you who don't know what that is, I call videos Mad Talk, where me, Mad Joe C, I'm just talking about whatever media news there is, like superheroes or anime or video games or whatever. So I think over the course of a few days, or maybe the course of a week or two, I was going to make a lot of these Mad Talk videos where I'm just giving commentary, talking about different scenes and different thoughts and different theories I have about things that happened in Avengers Infinity War. And the first topic I want to do a video for, or the first thing, is how what the Russos said is right. Avengers Infinity War is not a two-parter. And this obviously includes spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie, just stop watching the video, because I've already done a non-spoiler and spoiler review. The movie's been out for over a week, so this is gonna have spoilers in it. But yeah, what was I saying? Avengers, like, I understand why they took the part 2 out of Avengers 4 and are giving Avengers 4 its own title, because Avengers Infinity War had a definitive beginning, middle, and end. Some people, you can say it ended in a cliffhanger. You can say that, but no. And think about this as, like, this video I'm going to be talking about two things. How Infinity War was its own movie, and how Infinity War was a Thanos story. So, if you think of this film from the perspective of Thanos, it was a beginning, middle, and an end. It began with the very beginning. It began with Thanos on his quest to get all of the Infinity Stones. He had already, destroyed Xandar to get the Power Stone, and he was in pursuit of the Space Stone next, which Loki had. So, throughout the whole course of the film, this was Thanos' story of getting all the Infinity Stones, and then at the very end of the film, he accomplished his goal. He accomplished his goal. We saw him walk and, sit on that little porch he had, and he gave that little smug grin, because there was nothing else for him to do. His goal was to get the Infinity Stones and to wipe out half of life on the universe. Thanos got all 6 Infinity Stones, and he did exactly what he said he was going to do. He snapped his fingers. Half of life from the entire universe was gone. That's it. He doesn't need to fight the Avengers, or that wasn't his main goal, is to destroy the Avengers or anything. His goal is to just get the stones and snap his fingers. So he did that, and after he did that, there was nothing else for him to do. So he was just sitting on his porch smiling in, peace and happiness of what he thought was him doing the right thing, and saving the universe from itself by wiping out half of it. Now, do I agree? And this is how it gets into it being a Thanos story, is we saw this from Thanos' perspective. We didn't see this from the hero's perspective of, holy shoot, this guy's gonna do mass genocide. No, we we saw this from Thanos' point of view, and he even showed, you know, his point of view various times of the film. One specifically was when he was talking to Stephen Strange. He was using the Reality Stone, showing how Titan, you know, used to be a flourishing, a very well planet until, you know, it was getting overpopulated, and Thanos was saying, eventually one day it's going to be too populated. Here's an idea. How about we take out half of life on this planet? And his people were like, okay, this guy is nuts. And so they didn't listen to him, and what Thanos foresaw happened. And, you know, that was the end of Titan. And so, because Thanos couldn't do anything then, as, you know, a kid, he couldn't do anything then to prevent his planet from perishing. So he was like, well, if I couldn't do anything then, now what I want to do is at least save the rest of the universe from itself. And so, he was originally doing it, you know, manually. He was going from planet to planet himself and wiping out half the universe. But then when he finds out about these Infinity Stones, he's like, well, if I can get all 6 of these Infinity Stones together, I could just do it with the snap of my fingers instead of having to go manually from planet to planet. And so that was his, you know, that was his story. That was his reasoning for wanting the Infinity Stones in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, compared to the comics, where he wanted them literally just to impress and win the love of Mistress Death. Which, while I'll always respect that story, I'll always respect that reasoning for Thanos wanting the stones, you know, just because that's how it happened in the comics, and it was such a huge comic book event. I'll always respect that. But I do like his MCU storyline, his MCU characters, MCU reasoning for wanting the stones better than, you know, his comic book counterpart. You can relate more. It makes more sense than his comic counterpart of wanting to just win over Mistress Death. In the MCU, he wanted the stones to balance the universe and save it from himself. Yes, the Avengers were in this film. Obviously, it's called Avengers Infinity War, but we were seeing things from Thanos' perspective. The very beginning of the movie started with Thanos on his quest, and the very end of the film ended with Thanos after he finished his quest. And this really is, like, this ending was something nobody expected. Well, I mean, some people did, but it's just, even if you expected it, the fact that it happened is just crazy. Like, think about this. The Avengers found out Thanos was coming. He was trying to get all the stones to wipe out half the life on the universe. They tried to stop him. They failed. The Avengers lost. Thanos won. That's still crazy to think about for me. Is just the fact that they lost, the heroes lost, and the villain won. But again, this is Thanos' story, and Thanos, he sees himself as the hero. You know, Thanos sees himself as the hero, and this is his story, so he is the hero of this story in a way, if you look at it from that side of Thanos being a hero. He achieved his goal, and there's nothing else for him to do. Now, yes, Avengers 4 obviously will take place after the events of Avengers Infinity War, and obviously they're connected together, but I mean, the entire MCU is connected together. But obviously, yes, these two films are connected together as well. You could essentially call them, you know, two parts of the same film, but no, especially after watching it, they're both their own films. Avengers Infinity War was Thanos' quest to get the stones and wipe out half the life on the universe. And he did that. And at the end of the day, he won. And it ended. After he achieved that goal, that's it. It had a definitive... I don't see it... I mean, yes, you can see it as a cliffhanger, but I just see it as a definitive ending, you know. He achieved his goal. He sat down. The movie ended. I just see that as a definitive ending, you know. And so the next movie will obviously be the Avengers dealing with their fallen comrades who dispersed from the snap and trying to fix everything, you know. So I see that as its own other film. This Infinity War was Thanos' goal of retrieving all the stones. He did that. It ended with him winning. Now this next movie is them dealing with the after effects of the snap and trying to fix everything. And also, again, even though the Avengers were in this film, Thanos was the main character. Thanos, you saw Thanos the most. And you were not upset when you saw that. Did he intimidate you? Yes. But also, it was just such a joy seeing him. And the payoff for Avengers Infinity War, it was worth it. It was worth the 10 years of movies. It was worth all the 18 films of build-up. It was worth that first post-credit scene teasing Thanos at the end of the first Avengers, and then his brief scene in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, and then his cut scene at the end of Age of Ultron saying, fine, I'll do it myself, letting us know that now, you know, he means business, he's going to get the stones himself. And the payoff in Infinity War, it was all worth it, because in that one film, his story, his character development, his entire arc, well, it was all fleshed out so perfectly. And it, like, that Thanos, he's different from a lot of villains, you know. He's this mad titan, but he has I mean, yes, the other villains obviously have feelings too, but Thanos showed his feelings and emotions in a different way than other villains have shown their feelings and emotions. When Thanos had to sacrifice Gamora, Thanos started crying. And a lot of different scenes of the film, you know, he showed his feelings and emotions, and that he truly does care, and that he, you know, has compassion and stuff, and he loves things. He showed all of that, for me, better than any other villain that I've ever seen, you know. And in the end of the day, he really does think that what he's doing is the right thing. And in a sense, it is. You know, in a sense, it is. I think that's all I pretty much want to say, specifically on these two topics of, I felt Infinity War was its own movie, and I felt that it was a Thanos story. Yeah, I think that's all I really want to talk about. That's all I want to do. I'm going to do these videos just because these are things I want to talk about, you know, and I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about these things that I talk about down below in the comments, because you guys know that I love conversing with you guys in the comment section of all my videos. So leave all of your thoughts and all of your opinions and everything that you think of the topic of this video down below in the comment section, so that we can get some conversations going. And I have a lot more things that I want to discuss. I want to discuss some things regarding the Infinity Stones themselves. I want to discuss how Iron Man was just a freaking beast in this movie, how Thor was a freaking OP god, Doctor Strange. I want to discuss the whole thing with why the Hulk didn't want to come out during Infinity War after his beat down with Thanos. There's a lot of things that I want to discuss and make videos on, which I will do. I want to talk about Stormbreaker. There's just a lot of different things I want to talk about, and I want you guys to leave down below in the comment section things that you'd like me to talk about as well. There's a specific topic, a specific scene, a specific thought that you have about this film. Whatever it is, leave it down below in the comment section requesting me to do a video for it. And if I have the time, then, or if I already have it planned, then I'll do a video for it, alright? So that pretty much does it for this just commentary video. If you enjoyed, let me know what you thought. Links on my social media will be down below in the description box. Smash the like button. Share this video with anyone you feel will enjoy. If you are new around here, you like what you see, tap the subscribe button and ding dong the notification bell to join the Mad Alliance on our journey to 100,000 subscribers. My name's Joe, aka Mad Joe C. I hope you all have a marvelous day. Mad out. Mad. Strong. Together.